Hi everybody, welcome to the Sports Corner today, another video blog by yours truly, Art Regner, and as you can tell, I'm unshaven. I've been really pulling my hair out. I've been really wondering about the Detroit Tigers the last couple of days. It has not been fun watching the Tigers lately. Losing to the Kansas City Royals, first 9-8 and then 1-0. Has left me a little bit disillusioned and dismayed. As you know, a couple of weeks ago, I thought the Tigers weren't going to make the playoffs, but like everybody here in Detroit, I kind of waver. I'm either a Tiger fan for a minute, and I think, yeah, you know what, they're good enough, they're going to do it, and then obviously you see games like the last two they played against the Kansas City Royals where they can't get a runner in from third with less than 2 out, and they don't even put the ball in play. They just whiff, get some strikeouts. It's been rather alarming. Of course, Justin Verlander not winning in his last 4 starts now and getting lit up by the Royals 2 nights ago is a cause for concern. I think we all know that JV is a wonderful pitcher, yet he has to start winning some ball games, and I think restoring, a little bit of fear into the opposition. I mean, if you're around the American League and you see that Verlander gave up 8 runs and 12 hits to the Kansas City Royals, I think you've got to feel pretty good about yourself when you go up against Justin Verlander, although Sunday's big game against the Chicago White Sox here in Detroit on Sunday night against Chris Sale, he was lit up too, so maybe it'll even out, but I am a little bit worried. Now, I think when we look at the Tigers and why they're going to be able to win this division, and again, I don't think they're going to win their division. I have a very bad feeling about this team. I hope I'm wrong, but it's been really, really disappointing. As you can tell, I've been thinking about it. I'm not thinking about very much of anything. Usually I'd be thinking about Michigan. Oh, we added Old Glory to the Sports Corner there. Michigan State, even the Lions, because football season is going to start. And by this time, I'm kind of refocusing. They're getting geared up for football. But the Tigers have me in such a tizzy right now that I'm not even thinking about that. I'm not. I'm thinking about the Tigers. They have 33 games left today. 33. They have 8 against Kansas City, 7 against Chicago, 6 against Minnesota and Cleveland, and then 3 against the LA Angels of Anaheim, and 3 against the Oakland Athletics. Out of those 33 games, 13 are against teams that are in contention: Chicago, the Angels, and the Athletics. I have a feeling they're going to do very, very well against those teams. I think they kind of rise to the occasion. I think that's part of the inconsistency. When they're playing pretty good teams, for the most part, the Tigers do fairly well. They have 20 games against Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City, with, again, 8 of them being against the Royals, including tonight's game. I have a feeling that the boys are going to tank it. I don't know why. I just have a funny feeling that the Tigers are going to lose their division, and they're not going to get a wild card spot because of those 20 games against Kansas City, Cleveland, and Minnesota. I hope I'm wrong, but they're playing teams that don't have anything to play for. We know that Cleveland likes to beat Detroit. Perez shot his mouth off earlier in the year when they were doing it against the Tigers. Kansas City, for whatever reason, when there's no pressure on them, they're having a lot of fun out there. Moustakas knocking down Prince and then helping him up and then laughing and joking. I mean, they're all big one happy family in KC right now. And, of course, the Minnesota Twins, who have been a thorn in the Tigers' side for what seems like forever now, certainly there's no love lost. I'm not saying that they can't stand each other, but at this point when professional pride takes over, and that's what these 20 games against Cleveland, Minnesota, and Kansas City are all about, you certainly want to leave it all out on the field because you don't want to be blamed for, quote-unquote, tanking it and giving Detroit a spot in the playoffs. I'm very worried about this Tiger team, and the reason I'm worried is inconsistency. Inconsistency all over the place. And the bullpen with Phil Koch, who hasn't been able to get anybody out, scares the bejeebers out of me. I mean, look at me. Really, take a good look at me. I'm worried, I'm frightened. I've got, my piece Dashiki on to kind of calm me down. Dashiki, very calming influence for me. It's not helping much. Because the Tigers' inconsistency at all levels is the reason why this team number one, has not run away with their division, which they should have. I think we all agree they should have. But they haven't. And because of that inconsistency and the teams that they're playing, I feel that their schedule is a disadvantage. They close out the season exclusively against Kansas City and Minnesota. And, I want to show you something. This is my schedule, my Tiger schedule. I keep it here in the Sports Corner. I don't tape it up because I'm looking at it all the time. They have an extra game with Kansas City. I don't know if you can see this or not, that I've added to the schedule that Monday, right there on the 24th. They have, their final homestand is 4 games against KC, and they'll be lucky if they go 1-3. I'm not trying to be down on them, but I'm disappointed. So, in wrapping up, I just want to say this. Yeah, I'm going to shower. I'm going to shave, first of all. And I know I'm a role model to many of you out there, and I apologize, but sometimes I just get too emotionally attached to these teams. But secondly, what I really want to say is, I believe what everybody thinks is a plus is actually a minus for the Tigers, and that this schedule, what appears to be easy, is going to come back and haunt them, and that's why they're not going to do it. I think Cabrera's hurting a little bit. I think Fielder's giving you everything he can, but again, the bottom of the lineup not playing very well. Too many strikeouts, a lot of inconsistency. Jim Leyland likes to tinker with his lineup, so I think it all spells disaster. Again, I hope I'm wrong. I'd like to sleep at night. I'd like to shave every day, but if the Tigers continue playing this way, I don't know about that. So until we meet again tomorrow, we're going to talk about the NHL lockout. I know the players are looking at the latest proposal, and we will hear about that. Of course, the Lions play their last exhibition game tonight, or preseason game. We'll get into the Lions, Michigan, and Michigan State over the weekend. Have a safe and pleasant one, everyone. We'll see you very, very soon.